Well, welcome everyone to this social media training call. This is the first in a series of 3 calls. My name is Cheryl Lee Davis. I'm Vice President of Women's Connection with Stonecroft Ministries. And we are so excited to be doing these training calls because we want you to have all the tools that you need to get the word out and to get women connected on social media about your outreach, whether that's a Women's Connection, a detox event, a Story Marks event, whatever it is. Today we're going to be zeroing in on Women's Connection events, and I'm so excited to introduce to you Jessica Good. I met her 2 years ago in Colorado. She is the chair of the Delta County Women's Connection there. She has an amazing marketing job with the Delta County Memorial Hospital, so this is her area of expertise, and she has been a huge blessing to the ministry. And so, Jessica, I'm going to turn it over to you, and welcome to this call, everyone.
Thank you. There's always something new to learn about Facebook, and just when you think you've learned it, it changes. So just keep that in mind. There's always something. You could always find information out there. People are always teaching about the technical stuff with Facebook. But I just want to start off. Let me see. Can everybody see my screen? Cheryl, can you see my screen?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, so, this page is, I've set up a group here, and this is called the Women's Connection Helps. So I wanted to let everybody know about this. You can see up here in the Facebook search bar, just write this down, Women's Connection Helps. You'll want to go here for some graphics. That'll help you out if you go to the photos. I have several albums here. Some of them you've got, right here we've got logos. These are all the Stonecroft logos. So that you can, if you want to pull one of these logos, just click on it. And then you'll right click. You'll hit Save Image As, and then you'll put it into a folder where you want to save it. Whoops, too far. So you'll want to access this when you're setting up your page. This is just kind of a helps page. Before I get started setting up our mock page, I want to show you the Delta County Women's Connection page, kind of some things that we're going to go through as we set up a page. And I do have some homework for you. You're going to need in advance a description. I'm going to go to our About page. And here you'll see there's a story. So this is our story here. Our group started in 2008. On the bottom here, you'll see a small about. On the left here, you'll want to make sure you have an about. There's an impressum, and I looked this up. LinkedIn says the impressum comes from a Latin word adopted in German, which means imprint. Also, it means the credits, the legal disclosure, legal notice, or statement of ownership. So knowing that, the one that I used is Delta County Women's Connection is a Stonecroft Ministries outreach. So that's our impressum. So you'll want to also have who is going to be your contact person. So you'll want to get their permission to put their phone number. If they don't want a phone number, there is a place for a email, and we'll go over all of that. Another thing that you'll want is right here it says Delta Women Connect. That's our short version of our page. So when you go up to your web browser, it's going to be fb.com/Delta Women Connect. When you give that as your domain name or your web page, it hooks everybody straight to your Facebook page. So that's something that you'll want to know. And when you're looking up here, you go to the Facebook search bar and just do some searches, write down your favorite shortcuts, and then search for them. Today we're going to use Our Women's Connection. And see, nothing is coming up under there. So I'm going to use that as the shortcut. And again, that will show right here. So the one for Delta County Women's Connection is at Delta Women Connect. You will also want banner right here. And again, you can get that on the Women's Connection Helps under the photos, under albums. This one right here, this first one, is going to have a whole bunch of banners that you can borrow until you get yours done. And on the 27th, I believe we're going to have our third installment of this class. And I'm going to show you a place where you can create all these things. So here's just a sample of what you can get. And these are all sized. So all you need to do, again, is right-click, save your image, and put it in your computer. So that way you can pull it up and drop it in when you're creating your page. And I'll show you how to do that too. Let's see if I'm missing anything. When you're going to your short description here, you have about 255 characters to do this. So this is just very, very short. This is where you want to get into detail right here on your story. And this, you could have that as long as you want it. And you see here I ended it with Delta County Women's Connection is a Stonecroft outreach serving each woman where she is, as she is. Get more information and find resources. And I put their website right there. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And this actually does not take a lot of time to set this up, as long as you're prepared. And what I've done is I went ahead and did a Word document with all my information. So I have my Our Women Connect is what I'm going to use for Women's Connect, for the page that I'm going to use. The short is right here, and then here's my story. So to find where to start a page, up here on the right, let me maximize my screen here. Up here on the right, you'll see a drop-down arrow. You click the drop-down arrow, you go to create a page. There's also create a group. Now the difference is when you create a page, you're totally in charge of that page, of what happens on that page. If it's a group, it's more of a community is doing that. You don't have a lot of the, the about section and the impressum and the contact. You don't have all of that on the group. So I'm going to go ahead and we're an organization. You get to choose right here. There's also cause or community. I like to choose organization, and for category, I choose community organization. There's also down here, there's religious organization, but since we try to keep everything really not religion based, so that we don't scare off the people who have never been to church, or who are kind of allergic to church, or who have had a bad experience. We want to ease them in and welcome them, and we don't want to scare them off. So I choose community organization. And then you'll put your name here. And again, that's something that you want to research on the Facebook search bar up here to make sure that nobody else has that already. Or if they do, it's fine. You'll have to find a different version of it, and you'll want to see if there are if there's many with a similar name. You probably want to choose something else so it stands out. And I already forgot what the page is going to be called. Oh. So I'm just going to title it Our Women's Connection. And then get started. So this is where you add a profile picture. So this is where you save that banner from the Women's Help page. Oops, that's the wrong one. My computer is a little bit slow today. Still working. Okay, so step 2 of 2, it says add a cover photo. I'm going to skip that for right now. I think it means the one that's going to pop up, yep, right here. So I did it backwards, sorry. So you see immediately when you get to your page, it's going to kind of tell you how to start to give you some ideas. We are going to try that again. And this one, I'm going to change the picture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, what I'm doing is right-clicking, going to view, I'm going to choose large icons so I can see what I'm choosing because I forget what everything looks like. And Cheryl, it doesn't look like we have one that's just a square, so I'm just going to choose this one. Hopefully it'll pop up correctly.
Yes, and we'll make sure that there's a Stonecroft cross logo available in the manner that you're talking about for ease of uploading, okay?
So what I did is I just cropped it, and it looks like that went away. So let's choose that again. There we go. I forgot to save it. So that's the beginning of my page. It's very easy, very quick. Down here on the left, you'll see more. This is our about page. And this is where we're going to edit. We're going to edit our story. It's going to ask you for your description. So what I'm going to do is just pull up this. I'm going to copy and paste it.
So Jessica, do you recommend preparing some of this content ahead of time in Word so that they're ready to go, like copying and pasting over?
Yes, definitely. And this is part of what I've done is I've created a small outline, and it includes some homework, and that will be posted to with the video here when the recording goes out. Is that correct? Here in the next couple of days?
That's right. We'll have those uploaded with the video.
All right. So voila, there's our story. We want to add our contact information. You just click on here to add whatever you want to add. Of course, I have right here, I just made someone up, Audrey Answers. This is our short about is right here. So I'm going to grab that. So if people just want to see, oh, well, what are you about? Oh, okay. And then if they want the long description, there you go. You could do a start date, which tells people when your group actually started. You could add a mission. And some of these don't apply, like menu. Your menu is probably always going to change. Now we're going to look at, oh, the username. So right here, it says create page at username. Now this is that quick reference I was telling you about. that this little check mark is telling me it's available. So I'm going to create it. Uh-oh. This page isn't eligible to have a username. Of course, there's snafus during training. Uh-oh. Okay. We'll come back to that. So now we want to make sure if you have other people who are going to help you with this page, you want to be sure to add them as either an administrator or an editor. And up here at the top, you'll see the settings button. So when you click on that, it goes to a different page. And here on the side, it'll say page roles. So you click the page roles, and then you can assign a new page role. So when you assign somebody, it's going to ask you here, editor, admin, moderator, advertiser, analyst, or live contributor. So usually the admin is going to be able to edit everything on the page, but the admin will also be able to delete the page. So you want to be careful who you're putting. If it's not somebody who's staying with your group for a long time, you probably just want to add them as an editor. And it'll tell you here underneath what they can do. So if you click on moderator, it'll update this description. Analyst, this is what they're able to do. So we'll just create an editor. And I'm going to add Cheryl. Oh, and then you got to put your password. Let me see if I remember it. And then she pops up down here as editor. So that's how you add page roles and how to find out what those page roles do. And the last thing I want to go over today, we'll go back to page, is we're going to go down here under our Women's Connection. We're going to drop that down, and oh, it's not giving me, this page is a little bit different. So I'm going to go to settings because you can arrange all of those. So when you're going through your settings here, go ahead and explore. Don't be afraid to click on any of these things to see what they do. Page visibility down here, like right here, you can, it says age restrictions. You probably don't want to do that, but it has like a profanity filter, so you can definitely edit that and say, yes, we want it strong. And hopefully you won't have any problems with that, but just so you know it's available. And this is where you would delete the page. So that's something you want to keep people from doing if you're going to stay in business for a while. Okay. Right up here, you'll see page, inbox, notifications, insights, publishing tools. You want to pay attention to these because sometimes they'll show up with a little red number on the side, either the inbox or the notifications. If you have somebody in the inbox, you want to be sure to respond to them right away. And what it is on your page, people are able to message you. And right here, you can add and invite friends. Oops, where did they go? So if you join us next Monday, I'm going to show you how to add events and how to share those for free, because Facebook wants you to pay for your advertising, and there are ways around that. So here's where you want to invite all your people. You start typing, your list will come up, invite. I'm going to add a button. I know some people will have, or some groups have the ability to sell tickets online. So that's where you can add a button. You could say make a purchase or donation. So that's up to each group individually. If you hit this promote button right here, this is where it's going to ask you to pay. So if you want to boost a post and go, you don't have to pay immediately, but you'll definitely want to play with that in case you do want to utilize that. And that's a whole different class and topic altogether.
Well, this has been great, Jessica, talking about how to create a group page. I would like to open it up for questions if that's okay.
Sure.
Is this a good time for that?
Definitely. I think that's about it.
If you have questions, you can just click on the microphone up here on the computer. That will unmute yourself and allow you to ask a question. It'll change your microphone to green instead of red.
How do you first access the page that you're working on? I didn't get that.
Oh, to be able to create it from scratch?
The very first steps that you take to get onto the working page.
Oh, okay. So what you do is, do you see this? You see where my cursor is on the right, upper right?
Yes.
Okay, that little triangle right there, when you click that down, you can go to create a page.
Okay, so
and that's your
you go into Facebook using whatever your code, whatever your name is, whatever your password is. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and from there you start. That's where you start. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We currently have a page, but I'm not sure it was set up right. And also we want to change the name on it. Would it be best to start over or change what we have?
I believe you can change it. Let me see.
Did you say you could change it or could not?
Yes, you can. So right here on the About page, it has the name right here and it says edit.
Okay.
So it'll let you edit it right there. So About page, and then under General, name, and then just click that little edit button.
Great question.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Dana from Mesa. I was wondering, while we set this up, it's not live yet, is it? How do we make it go live, or can we play with it while we're putting it together before it goes live?
I believe it's already it's live once you create it and it comes to this page here.
Okay, so our homework would be to get the about and the story and all of that done first, and then start putting it.
Yes, at least the text part, because you can borrow. Excuse me. You can come to this page right here. This group. It's called Women's Connection Helps. Okay.
Oh,
It's a closed group, but you'll be able to find it when you type it up here in the bar, and then just go into the group, ask to join, and we'll get you approved. And then under Photos, click Albums, and there's all kinds of things that you can borrow from here. This first one is going to be the banners that you can put at the top of the page. They just say your Women's Connection page is coming soon. It has a Stonecroft logo. And I've set them up in with different floral backgrounds. So you just right click, you save the image, and you want to put it under whatever file on your computer will remember it's at. So that way when you're setting it up, you can go to that file and pull that up. The next one, this next one here, where it says strong women lift each other up. When you go into that one, they're just different women clip art.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. And then the next one is going to say save the date. It's a whole bunch of save the date stuff that you can use on your events pages or for whatever you want. Same thing, right click and save. So there's a few resources there for you to get started, so that way you don't have to worry about graphics right away.
Okay, so we'll have the same banner that we use all the time, and then there's a place where we put our meeting. Oh, I see in the events on the left, then you list your meetings and the speakers and stuff.
So this is the Delta County Women's Connection, and we have the events link right here. So when people click on that, they can see all the past events we've done.
Oh, good.
Your events.
Okay.
You definitely want to utilize that events link.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Question. If we already have a page, is there a way to link an existing page to a new page?
You want to merge two pages? Or
no, we have a page, but if we started a new one, can
so
you refer them from one to the other?
So you're going to have two pages. You just want people to know that they both exist?
Well, we already have one. So if we started on a whole new page, how would you not lose your guests that you already have?
I believe there's a way to merge pages.
Okay.
I'm going to go to settings. I saw it the other day. Right here. So up here where it says settings, it'll bring you to this page. Go all the way down. It says merge pages, and it says merge duplicate pages. I haven't played with this one before, but merge duplicate page. So it'll take you to this. It'll ask you to choose a page. So you have to be either administrator or editor on that page. Probably administrator, I'm not sure. So you choose your page that you want to merge. So did that help?
That helps. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions for Jessica? Well, as we mentioned earlier, we are going to have 2 more calls in this series. The next call is next Monday, the 13th, and then we're taking the following Monday off, and then we come back together on the 27th. And so next Monday, Jessica is going to review for us how to, as she mentioned, advertise or get the word out about your group. And then on that final Monday, November 27th, she's going to walk us through some apps and tools that you can use to create your own pictures and inspirational messaging and that sort of thing. So that's going to be a really great call. We do want to remind everybody that all of these calls will be put out on our website under the National Conference Call page. You do need to have your login to stonecroft.org, so make sure you have that done. And then also there are going to be a few handouts, including some homework that Jessica has given you that you can download and then use as you're preparing your page. When we started today, Jessica, I forgot to open us in prayer, and so I do want to close our time in prayer. That's what we do here at Stonecroft. So I apologize to all of you all, and I'll do that now, and then we'll plan to see everybody next week, same time, and the same link. So we're trying to make that easy for you. Just click on that exact same link next week, okay? All right, let's pray together.
Just a moment. I just a couple of chat questions. I want to, just 2 of them. I just want to address that real quick. So on your page, you should have a link on the side that says events. And then right here, big old button, create event. So I hope that answers that question. And then to invite somebody, these little 3 dots right here should have invite friends down here. When you click on that, you'll get a pop-up. Some friends will come up. If they're not showing in the bar, or you don't want to scroll through all 600 of them, you could type their names in right here, and it'll pop them up right here. Just like that, and then you invite. All right, I think those are the only two questions I saw in the chat. You're
Okay,
welcome,
great.
Debbie.
And then for the rest of you, we'll come together again next week. So if you have more questions, we definitely want to be able to answer. And let me just ask that, are there any other questions on the computer or phone? Okay, well then I'll go ahead and close our time in prayer. Lord, we do thank you for every woman that's on this call, every volunteer who gives of her time tirelessly so that your gospel will be communicated around this nation. And we thank you that you give us the privilege of being part of this ministry. Father, would you use what we've learned today and help us now as we go to create pages so that we can get the word out about our groups and our outreaches. And we will give you all the praise and glory for what you're doing through this ministry. In Christ's name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all. We'll see you next week.